We'll be right back after a quick word from today's sponsor, Aura. This year has seen a number of high-profile data breaches raising serious concerns about personal information security. Dell suffered a breach that exposed 3.9 million customer records, including sensitive personal information.
AT&T disclosed 2 breaches, one affecting approximately 2.5 million customers and another impacting 9 million customers.
And everybody's favorite, Ticketmaster, experienced a massive breach compromising over 560 million customer records. That's too damn many. But most alarming of all, just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach potentially impacting every American. This incident compromised over 2.9 billion records, that's billions with a B, used for background checks, including critical personal information such as full names, addresses, dates of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers.
Oh my goodness, Mike.
The good people at Aura have us covered.
It has been confirmed that members of the hacker group have released this sensitive information online for free. And if you haven't been taking your personal information online seriously, now's the time to change that. You're more vulnerable than ever in today's digital landscape. And thankfully, I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft.
They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst happens.
Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager to help you create and store strong passwords, and more.
So we're not leaving ourselves and our family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can head to aura.com/hootandahaf. That's HOOTANDAHALF, Hoot and a Half, to try 2 weeks for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. So check out Aura, use the link in the description. Thanks to them for sponsoring this episode. And now back to the show. Whoa, emergency podcast. Hold on.
Whoa.
What's up, everybody? We're back with another Hoot and a Half. Matt, why don't you hit him with the intro?
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Hoot and a Half. I'm your host, Matt King, with my co-host here, Mike Sheffer. And we're at it again, just the two of us. Oh, this is so nice.
I love it. Even though this is your 4th podcast of the day.
4th. Can you believe it? Well,
influences?
Technically 3rd.
Oh, you only did one unfiltered.
Yeah, we only did one unfiltered.
So you did a three-peat today. You did one of each.
Yes.
Good influences in the morning, unfiltered in the afternoon, and Hoot and a Half in the evening.
And we're doing another Good Influences tomorrow
morning at 9 a.m.
Which originally we weren't planning on, but I was supposed to go to Jacksonville, Florida.
By the time this comes out, we will know.
We will really know. Yeah. So I had a wedding. You know me, going to weddings all the time. I had a wedding already planned. That was a Friday wedding. Get in Thursday, go to the wedding on Friday, and then go from Jacksonville, Florida, to Nashville. And it was just too much of a risk to commit to that flight and trying to.
Is the wedding happening?
The wedding is on. The rehearsal dinner got canceled. I think it's. I feel so bad for the bride and groom.
I know.
But you know what? I feel even worse for the people who are truly affected by this hurricane that's coming, and just even hopefully nothing goes wrong, but just being part of the congestion of anybody trying to get out of Jacksonville, whatever story that is.
Loading up,
having
gas.
Want to risk not even being able to make this other wedding. So, but we will know by the time this goes out.
Is there wedding insurance? Did you get insurance for your wedding? If something like this happens, you get your money back?
That's a good question. Wedding insurance. I know that there's photography insurance. Mm-hmm. I knew a couple that had a wedding down in Alabama, and it was the couple that they hired was a photography couple. They're married and they handle it.
Yeah.
All of the photographs taken post-wedding, the cocktail hour, all the family photos, all of that stuff, all gone. And I know that there is an insurance thing that you always should buy, but I don't think bought the insurance, but they also I think countersued them as well.
I feel like it's going to be a new business in hurricane-centric areas, if it isn't already, wedding-specific insurance, because I don't think that your homeowner's insurance is going to cover that. Your regular car insurance. I just think
I think it's just pure flood. I feel bad for people though who.
But that's for your home.
Oh, right.
I'm
True,
saying like
yeah.
if you're booking it, it's like event insurance. So like
we're talking about the event insurance.
because weddings specifically, you have to put down the deposit for the caterer, the deposit for the place, all the flowers, like all the things have these individual separate people that you're paying with
have
deposits.
Because what if like the your whole venue
That's what I'm saying.
had to cancel?
Yeah, and then you get all your money back from everyone. I think
That's a great question. I was not part of those dealings
well, if you're
for
a
my
young,
own wedding.
entrepreneur, it could be an interesting business. Hello, sharks.
Yeah, getting into wedding insurance.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a great business.
Where was I? Oh, but that photographer then offered the couple for like free family photos for the rest of their life. But the thing is that you're so angry with
That
them.
person, yeah, it's not going to be a good
I
experience.
think it was like a formatting a card issue. Like I think one of like the guys in like the couple was like handed an SD card, and then when you format a card, it erases everything. I think that's kind of what happened.
They said, "Oh, here's the card." Yeah, that's
We should do a podcast insurance. I mean, how many episodes? I mean, I always accept that any episode we record could go away because it has happened in the past. You can't get too married to like a conversation. It's so devastating when it's like, how many times did that happen on Good Influences?
It was one time. First of all, the very first episode of Good Influences we ever did.
Yes. 3
cameras, but only one of them recorded. So that was like
that
not
also
great.
that was so bad because I felt like the guy who owned the studio, it's your first time, your first client, but we're definitely not the first client ever in the studio.
No.
But you just sign on these new people. You'd want to make sure everything is just extra crispy.
And we were launching the show, and we launched it with just the wide angle camera. Like it was an hour of just one
Did we
shot.
preface that for the people?
Yes,
like,
we did.
before?
We did a second intro. We're like, hey, it's our first episode. I think. I mean, this is like over 2 years ago now, but I believe we prefaced it, and then we got it right.
We've never lost an episode for Hoot besides the one that we recorded with Will during lockdown.
Yes, when that was not our fault though.
It was him on his end.
But we ended up. Didn't we just redo another episode immediately after?
Right after.
Yeah.
And we made it work.
We still posted. So.
Yeah, it's just I feel like we had to like re-laugh at some jokes and be like, you like just revisiting the things
I think it was also our only COVID guy. We were also doing audio only at that point too.
Yes.
We weren't on video
yeah,
yet.
Good point.
Remember those days where we just would like we went to Casey Neistat's house in Venice with our little machine?
Oh yeah, we like interviewed his daughter and everything.
Yeah, but it's just God, it was so easy to do that back then.
I didn't have to worry about what I'm wearing. I'm also, I've worn this exact sweater for 3 shows today now.
Shout out to the eagle-eyed viewers. Comment blue sweater if you've seen Matt wear this on more than one show.
I'm always fascinated by the people, though, who are able to figure out certain things happened all on the same day.
Oh, yes. From like social media stuff. Like, oh, they did that Hilton campaign.
Yes.
When she was in here for the Grammys or something.
They can really like track how your day went. And it's also wild thinking about like when you watch movies that like the scene you're watching was just filmed on some random Tuesday afternoon after lunch, like, and we want to believe the moment that we're witnessing is like
eternal.
Yes, and it's truly bound into the moment that they're creating for us. We really want to think that it's at nighttime in an alleyway and it's this dramatic thing, but really it's just
behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I didn't see that. Like when a character in there, I just watched one of my VHSs last night because I moved into my new place.
I saw this sitting on your couch.
So I was watching The Secrets of the Trilogy, which was like, hey, I'm Cameron Partridge.
Back to the Future trilogy.
Yes, the Back to the Future trilogy. It was like a behind the scenes. I thought it was going to be cool, but it was very 90s. And it was like, I'm Kirk Cameron, and I'm going to be your host for the next 30 minutes as we dive into the secrets. And it was just
a bunch of fluff. Like nothing was like really that exclusive.
I didn't learn a goddamn thing.
They're just regurgitating everything out.
But there was one scene where one of the bad guys was in his costume, and he's like the bad guy, Mad Dog Tannen in the Old West, and he goes, hey, it's, if you kids out there want to move to California, you can get covered in poop like me and be a movie star. And I was just like, oh, it's a little weird. Like, he's just like a 25-year-old dude.
Which villain was this from?
It's Biff, but he's the same guy in all 3 movies. Like, Mad Dog Tannen, he's like Biff Tannen.
Third is not the best one.
People say, I really like it. It's like a Western. It's a comedy.
Do you know the whole little like Easter egg or the bit about the little boy who's on the train and he has to pee?
That he's like flipping him off or something?
He's like, first he's like signaling to like somebody kind of off camera.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of fidgeting with his crotch. And I think he like mouths, I have to pee.
I don't know. I have to watch that. The best is the DVDs when you could watch the movie on DVD and have little pop-up commentaries.
Yes.
That's the most I learned.
I do like commentaries. I will watch for a whole film. That's my only time. If I'm watching, like, sitting down with one of the directors and one of the actors and they're going through it.
They're just, it's like they don't want to do it. Sometimes you could tell they're just like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess I'll go to the studio and talk shit for an hour.
I remember on the School of Rock DVD, you could listen. They did a commentary with all of like the kids or a handful of the kids in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're all just like, they're not even like truly giving commentary about the what's on the screen.
They're just kind of talking.
Yeah, like one of them leaves for a second and they decide they want to scare him because he's like going to pee.
I do miss like bonus, like we don't get bonus features anymore.
Right, unless you buy it
on physical media.
I know.
They're like, wouldn't it be sick if when there was like the new season of Suits?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Like if you go into the show, it'll be like like just like on a DVD, main thing. You could play different chapters and then special features, behind the scenes.
Yeah, they
promos.
They have the space for it. I feel like though, Max has been doing that. They do have
featurettes. Yeah,
featurettes, but they usually are Max Productions.
Right.
Like it'll be Succession or Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They'll do deep dives on those, but I always feel like those people really don't want to be there.
Was Succession a good show?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's funny you brought that up. Okay. Yes, it was a phenomenal show, and I still can't believe you never watched it. You really should give it a shot. But I was I've been rewatching The West Wing and I've been really enjoying it. I just finished season 4. Oh, what a cliffhanger. And I was Googling like what are considered the top 10 best shows of all time. TV shows.
According
like,
to who?
Dramas.
Some writer from Variety.
I asked ChatGPT, but I usually think Chat goes through all of the reviews and gives you the top 10.
Okay.
What number 1 I think you could get, and I'm not talking sitcoms, I'm talking TV dramas.
The number 1 TV drama of all time, according to ChatGPT.
Yes.
Let's say Law and Order.
See, that is like...
That's a procedural, meaning it's like the same thing every week. So you're talking about maybe a different type of drama. The Wire.
Oh my gosh.
The Sopranos.
Yes, number 1.
Sopranos?
Yes.
The Wire or The Sopranos?
The Wire is in the top 5.
Have you seen The Wire?
No, I'm very familiar with it. My roommate was obsessed with The Wire so much in college, my college roommate, that he really wanted to smoke Newports because of it. So we went and bought a pack of Newports because he's like, that's all they smoke on The Wire.
And they would like, I mean, it was very cool. Each season was also very different, which is, they kind of like True Detective, where like you fall in love with these characters for a season.
Oh.
And then the next season is like, oh wait, he's only in here for like 1 episode. And
I thought it's like the same. It's the guy from The Affair who's
some seasons a character will come in for like a bit of an arc, but I think season 1 and season 5 are where the main cast, like from the first season, are in it for the whole show.
Okay. I guess I should give it a shot.
I call those shows
The Sopranos. It's ranked number 3, The Wire. Can you get number 2?
Number 2 would probably be Nurse Jackie.
With Edie Falco.
Yeah.
I never watched it, but I do know that's good. She won a lot of Emmys for that.
I feel like that's just because, I mean, maybe it's good. I haven't seen it. I'm talking out of my ass, but like she was, Carmela Soprano. It's the next show.
I don't feel like, did shit go down on Nurse Jackie?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like she might have just been.
I'll give them to you.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Breaking Bad.
And that's another retirement home show.
What are you talking about?
This is what I'm doing. I didn't watch any of these big shows when they were on TV. Breaking Bad, Succession.
You're saying you're going to wait till you're in a retirement home to watch all of these?
That's when I'm just going to get my mind blown when I'm 65. I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. Because I'll have the time.
But you watch Mad Men.
That is because basically anything I think post-college, I just don't have the time for.
Okay.
But Mad Men.
Breaking Bad was happening during college. Actually, while you were... Breaking Bad was more going down while you were in college than me.
When did Breaking Bad start?
2008.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I missed it.
I know. It's okay, Mike.
I also missed Vine.
Mad Men is number 4. Game of Thrones 5. Better Call Saul, number 6. Everyone raves about Better Call Saul.
Yeah. It's a prequel, right?
Yes. But I think it also bleeds into Breaking Bad. But it's like, Wicked or whatever. It's a prequel, but then it also is happening at the same time as The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, we got Succession, West Wing, True Detective, only season 1. And then another one that I've always really wanted to give a shot, 6 Feet Under.
With the guy from Dexter.
Yes.
Have you seen Dexter?
No.
Oh, it's a nail biter.
Is it very gory and bloody?
A little bit.
The premise is that he goes after bad people. He's a serial killer, but
Yes.
he goes after bad people.
He goes after other serial killers.
Oh.
That's how he has the sickness and the disease and the need to kill, but he's like a nice guy, and his like sister is adopted and she's like take care of him. And he discovered that there are bad guys that are also doing serial killing. So he uses his brain to think like the other serial killers, and he catches them before the cops do, and then he kills the serial killers.
And then the murderers stop. Does he ever take any glory? Does he signal to the cops, hey, I killed the guy?
They're always one step behind him. They're always about to get him.
They know that there's a man going after and killing all the serial killers.
Yes.
Oh, what's his disguise? What's his day job?
He works in a crime lab. He's a cop. So he works in a crime.
So he gets his hand on like evidence.
Yes,
and maybe like tampers.
So
with
he's
some
always
stuff.
fucking with evidence. I think, if I'm not, or maybe he's like a lab guy, but he's always fucking with shit. And it's every episode is like, holy shit, it's over. Like the blood sample matches his, and then in the next episode, he's like, oh, he got out of it. It's pretty good. We'll be right back after a quick word from today's sponsor, ZocDoc. Now, being an adult does have its high points, like you can eat ice cream for dinner, or if I decide to make popcorn for breakfast, or do whatever I want, really. It's my house, it's my fridge, it's my rules, Matt. But it's not all fun and games. You also have to do things like your taxes and figure out what's for dinner every freaking night. And you have to make doctor's appointments. But for that one, there's ZocDoc, the healthcare app that makes adulting that much easier.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health to eye care to skin care and much more.
You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, who are located nearby, who are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and who are highly rated by verified patients. You can also see their actual appointment openings, choose a time that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I use this and you should too.
So stop putting off doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Hoot to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/HOOT, ZocDoc.com/Hoot. Matt, hit him with it one more time.
ZocDoc.com/Hoot.
And now back to the episode.
It's interesting watching shows now that were like made back then where there's these pauses for like commercial breaks.
I know.
Like
It's just like the black screen.
Yeah.
The sound goes cha-choom.
It affects so much of the pacing, or like there's all this buildup for the commercial break, but it just goes black and then it comes back on.
Yeah. You grew up with like when the commercial break, it's back. It's
Go,
and you have to
run in here. What happened?
You're
What did I miss?
Sliding into the living room, busting your ass.
I guess, yeah, but I don't feel like there were that many shows I was like,
Or like
maybe Disney shows.
sports maybe.
Yeah, true.
Okay, wait. This is a good topic. We'll go through the top 10 TV shows.
So 6 Feet Under, that's always one I've wanted to give a shot.
That's about a funeral home company.
Yes, it's about a family that owns a funeral business, but the dad dies in the first episode. I've seen the first episode. And the son kind of inherits it and takes it over.
Family discount? Is that the premise that they're...
No, I think just one of the sons realizes he has to take over the funeral business, and I think just drama goes down with dealing with funerals. But I know it's funny. There's some like supernatural elements to it, I think.
Okay.
I may be totally wrong, but that was just kind of the vibe I got in the first episode.
Okay.
Next one's Lost. Do you love Lost?
I think Lost is the greatest piece of art humanity has ever produced.
This is what people say.
It's better than Shakespeare. It's better than The Godfather. It's better than Scarface or whatever fucking movie you think is good.
Then why?
It is the best.
It seems pretty divisive, though. Like,
yeah, if you're...
some people are like my brother-in-law is like, fuck Lost. Can't stand it.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say now that you mentioned who it was.
Did people hate it because, or did people who do hate it, did they just not like the ending, or they just felt like they were teased the entire time?
I mean, no offense to your brother-in-law, I think it is not a low IQ show.
Okay.
There are things that are happening that you need to be invested in. You have to be able to see a bigger picture. You have to think allegorically, meaning what happens is not what you're seeing on the screen. What is happening is a metaphor for something maybe in your life or something in the lives of these characters that live outside of this one scene. And if you can't like pay attention to that and be invested in it, you're just gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, so that guy's like not dead anymore? And you're just like, oh.
See, okay, I can vibe with that.
And the other thing is that you have to love mystery, which like I'm sure if you've seen J.J. Abrams' TED Talk about
But the black box.
the black box, spoiler alert, J.J. Abrams, billionaire, director of Star Wars, Star Trek.
Father of Gracie Abrams.
Yes, which people don't know. They think she's just like some
always
girl.
Shocked that people don't know it. She's a talented Nepo baby, though.
Sure. But also I realized when we were growing up, actors that we probably thought were just like actors, also Nepo babies.
Yeah, I also was watching Psycho the other day, and I was looking up, what's her name? Oh, gosh, Judith. Oh, gosh, I forgot.
Julie Andrews?
But no, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, her dad was Tony Curtis, but I just like forgot.
People and like Kate Hudson, like people we just grow up thinking are just famous.
Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Now we learn that they were previous generation Nepo babies. But
I always like the Nepo babies, though, that are like studio heads kids. Like that actually ended up just looking very, very good looking. And
Right.
like we're ready. Like for somebody who was off screen but produced an on screen offspring, like the Gyllenhaals. Those
their
kids.
dad was just in the film business or something?
Yeah, the parents were in the film business. Zoe Deschanel too.
Oh, yeah.
Like her dad was a big producer.
Wasn't Harrison Ford apparently just like doing cabinet
Carpentry.
work?
Yeah, carpentry.
At George Lucas's house?
Is that
I need to look up
maybe
that story.
Francis Ford Coppola? Because he was in Apocalypse Now before Star Wars.
Maybe that's what it was.
He's in Apocalypse Now for like 2 minutes.
But no, so that might be what it was. I think it was George Lucas who gave him his actual first part. He was a struggling actor. He got, when you're acting, you do get these small little parts. Like Glenn Powell has been popping up in all these movies over the past 10 years. But let me get back to Lost, please.
Okay.
I think two things happened. When it came out, it was a 6-year arc. There was no internet, like social media when it was coming out. So people were really invested. It was a real water cooler show. And it took 6 years to watch the show. Like you would watch week by week. You grew with these. Like I went through high school and college with these characters.
Yeah.
Pivotal time developing in my
seasons?
life. 6.
That's. But how many episodes a season? Because back then,
23 to 28.
yeah,
and
West
they're
Wing
an hour
is,
each.
Yeah, 22 episodes.
It's a big chunk of change. There are some parts where it's pretty slow because they didn't. The thing about Lost was when they were making it, the directors were like, "We have a story we want to tell. We think we can tell it in like 3 seasons, 4 seasons." But the studio was like, absolutely not. This show's a fucking smash hit. You're going to do it for 9 seasons. And they're like, we can't just do this forever. Like we have a story we want to tell. We have a beginning, middle, and end. We need to strike a deal. So between seasons 2 and 3, they didn't strike that deal yet. So they were like, okay, are we going to have to wrap this up in like 3 seasons? Or are we going to have to stretch this out to 6, 7, 8? So there's a little bit of downtime and people kind of give up on the show at that point. But season 3, 4, 5, oh my God, that's when they figured out we're going to season 6. So that's one reason why people are like, So there's a little bit of bumbling in second season, but get through it. And then the last season, there was just no way you're going to please everybody. The world they set up, the questions that they ask, the mystery that they unveiled, there's no way you can satisfy every single person's taste and desires.
Yeah.
But what I think is they did it in a way that it actually does. It answers. It's like perfect metaphor for the show is how it ended. Is my view.
I'm sold.
And just watch it. Don't spoil yourself. It's like taking a warm bath.
Okay.
Dip your toes in, get acclimated. Don't rush through it. Grippy had a great thing. Someone posted like, overwhelmed with Lost. It's too long, too many seasons. Try watching it at 1.5x speed. And he's just like, okay, so like, do you want to just speed up your life and die? Like, what is the point of this if you can't live in the moment? Lost will forever be a near and dear to my heart.
Speaking of speeding things up, do you know like Seinfeld on TV, why it's shorter?
I know. I hate
They
it.
speed it up by like 0.5.
I know.
for
The voices are a
ads.
little bit higher. Jerry's a little bit higher. It's annoying.
I saw that like on a British trivia show. You know that British trivia show? It's like, do you guys know why Seinfeld is why it's shorter?
It's most sitcoms. They are speeding it up by like 1.2x speed. Oh, they do it on the radio too. Have you ever noticed that?
What do you mean on the radio?
On FM radio, you'll hear a pop song, like a whatever, Dua Lipa, and it's like a little bit faster than the
they're
original.
Trying to wrap it up?
Yeah, so they can get more commercial space in. And it makes you listen a little bit more because it's like your brain is like, oh, this is a little bit faster than I'm used to hearing.
What do you think about like why some songs now become like viral hits once they're sped up a bit?
That's such a good question. I have a real theory that when people write music, there's things that most people consider: the lyrics, the chords, the melody. The two things that I don't think people consider that I think are almost more impactful than those two things are the key of the song and the tempo of the song. Seven Nation Army. Boom, 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 boom. You slow that down, you move the first note up or down a little bit, I don't think it goes anywhere. The specific tones and the specific tempo, I think, make the world of difference in a song. And I think a lot of songwriters kind of don't think about it as much. The best ones do, but I do think that it's a very impactful thing for me. Songwriting.
So from like, I guess like a music business thing, I feel for an artist where it's like, yeah, you just went viral, but because your song was like 2 times the speed or 1.5 times the speed, does that mean it should have been that all along?
No, what I think is...
Do you think it still would have gone viral if it would have?
In this world where you do have you have one thumb swipe away from getting out of something, if you take this idea and compress it and make it a little bit more appealing to your ears by just making it faster, all you're doing, you're not really making the song better. You're taking the essence of a song that already is good. You're just giving it to them in a way that they can hear it.
It's like a fast food version of it.
Yeah, it's like, wait, that's a French fry? Okay, maybe I will eat potatoes today. Like, I will have the root of this product. It doesn't mean that the song... in fact, what I think it means is the mark of a good song. Like, if you speed up a Beatles song, they still kind of fucking rip. Because the Beatles songs are good.
When I was a kid, I would love putting songs into QuickTime Player, and then QuickTime Player had fast forward, but you could audibly listen to it like double the speed.
Did it change the temp? Like the key was it like?
It would just sound like a little bit more like Chipmunks, or it was just like, "Let's go, if you want to, you can get it out." Like it was just like a little bit more.
Did you ever used to play with the little aux cord on your CD player or MP3 player?
And if you pulled it out like a halfway, it almost sounded like it was underwater.
Or you can get like an instrumental version.
Oh.
That was what I would always try and do, is you can get it, and because the lyrics are always panned directly in the center. So what you would do is you pull it out so the center channel is off. Okay. So all you're hearing is the left and right, and you hear the instrumental version. I learned so many songs that way to just like understand how to play them. We don't have that shit anymore.
We really don't. I feel like now all instrumentals though are just uploaded. Like someone figured out a way to extract the audio and then AI what's left from it.
What is your like TV show that you are just everybody on earth should see this show because it will change how you view life?
I think I've been not rewatching The West Wing. I'm watching The West Wing for the first time, and I think just right now politically in this climate that we're in, I think that President Bartlett in that show is like an incredible president, an incredible man. And I think it's like really beautiful to see what a president can be. It's a very like, I know it's a fake fictional version of it, but I think it improves your sense of taste of the type of person that you really want in power and the types of people we need to be rooting for and voting for. And I know that The West Wing is just a show. And I know that Veep is a lot more like what they say, what the White House is like than The West Wing. But that is like, now that I've been enjoying, but if I were to give anybody a show to
maybe something that you watched like in high school or college.
I think everybody is so much different.
What's your taste?
I love Mad Men.
You think
but I wouldn't recommend that to like any like woman to watch Mad Men. Like I don't think that's up their alley.
Yeah, it's a very broy.
I think Breaking Bad is a lot of fun. Breaking Bad is like you cannot wait for the next episode.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow,
dude!
And you haven't seen Lost?
I've never seen Lost, but I know. Well, I've seen the first 4 episodes of Lost.
You got to get through it.
I know, but that was before it was all
it's on Netflix and
streaming.
Stuff. Yeah.
I was having to look up like GorillaVid or Metacalf or trying to
movie
find
free time now.
Yes, trying to find any way. I used to have DVDs of Mad Men that I used to watch. I used to love Weeds too. That was okay. I love Mary Louise Parker. I think she's one of my favorite actresses.
So. Was there a show, though, that you think everyone could benefit from watching? Entourage.
Yeah, exactly. Like Entourage is just like male lifestyle.
Oh,
porn.
God.
It's just like, wouldn't that be sick, dude?
Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
That show is pretty sick though.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's not like art, but there isn't anything from your childhood that like changed your life.
Oh, The Leftovers. Actually, The Leftovers. Not a lot of people talk about The Leftovers. The Leftovers was on HBO Max, but it's still on Max right now. It is 3 seasons. It's with Justin Theroux, Carrie Coon, Margaret Qualley is in it when she was very young, as just a little teenager. Basically, what happens is that one day, I believe it's 10%, maybe 15% of the whole world population vanishes out of thin air. And nobody knows why. Some people believe that it was like the rapture.
Okay.
But then people are like, why would this person get chosen by God to go to heaven? Because they were actually like a murderer. They weren't a good person. There is no like moral consequence for these people going. And then there's people who are trying to just continue to go about life and go, that's really weird. Then all these cults are being started because they're like, we need to remember and we need to understand why this happened. And it's the most realistic way I think life would go if something like that happened. And it's 3 seasons.
There's aliens in it or no?
No aliens. And it's not even that, I would say, supernaturally, because it's just quite literally a what the fuck kind of like thing that happened. But it's an incredible drama. It's same characters, but each season's a little bit different. But it's one of those like, why are we here kind of a show.
And I think Will Derbyshire also said like
he's the one who told me about
the second finale or something, the series finale is like the greatest thing he's ever seen.
Yes, I think so. Yes. But walking away from it, it does kind of change you for the better. Same thing also with the creator of that show. I wish I knew his name. He also did another show that was on for 1 season, limited series called Station 11.
I hated that.
Really?
Oh my God. When that was on,
Mackenzie Davis? And
it was just like
Shakespeare?
whatever the vibe of that show is, I just did not fuck with it. It was also, they put on a show about a bleak future world that like a disease is making everyone and it was peak COVID.
It was they made it before COVID.
I know, but then I'm like, we're living in this right now. This is like
that's why it didn't, and a lot of people didn't vibe with it.
I didn't like it
because it was it felt too kind of like close to home, and people didn't want to escape to it. It's very similar to Donnie Darko. Why that movie was a huge flop and was not received well because I'm not spoiling anything about Donnie Darko, but a plane engine crashes into a kid's room, and it came out a month before 9/11 happened.
They had to do that with Spider-Man too, right? They had to like CGI the last scene out because 9/11.
I know Lilo and Stitch. They had to Lilo and Stitch. Originally, instead of this spaceship that they're flying in at the end, it was supposed to be an airplane, and they had to redo that.
I think the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the last scene
had the Twin Towers in it.
Had him flying into, he was like spider webbing, and then they CGI'd it like 2 weeks before the movie came out, and he went to the Empire State Building.
Did you ever go inside the Twin Towers?
Never was inside. I would like walked around it and like looked up at them, and we had lunch outside.
Do you have a photo of you with them at all?
No, but I was just at my parents' house for a Jewish holiday, and do you remember those things that were like, they're like souvenirs, but it's just a piece of glass that they would somehow laser etch like a picture inside of it. Mm-hmm. So they have like a bunch of those because they thought that in the 90s or whenever it was, they were like super cool.
Yeah, they were in every mall kiosk. Yeah, you saw oh my God, that's a picture in a crystal.
They have one of the 4 of our faces, like me, Sam, Daron, and Johnny. They like scanned our face and put it into a brick when we were like 8 years old.
Okay.
So there's one of those. And then they also just have one that just says New York City World Trade Center, but they got it before 9/11. So it's just like a Twin Towers like merch, but it's not a 9/11 memorial, but it's just sitting there. And I'm just like, I don't know if like, what's the vibe here? Is this like, do we need this out displayed underneath the TV? I don't know.
The next show was Fargo.
That's one I would see now.
Season 1's amazing. I never finished season 2.
And then, it came back. I think it got better, right?
Oh, every season is amazing. It's just you fall in love with one season so much, you feel like you're starting a whole new show. And so it's hard to like get into the groove of it, but every season's great. I've just never given it a full shot. And actually, I might start it right now because it's crime related. It's October.
You're going to start season 1 again?
No, probably season 2. I'm like halfway through season 2.
But you didn't like it? Why don't you just give up and start season 3?
I could do that. But there is a deep thread that does connect all of them.
You know what ChatGPT is great for?
It's
I feel like I'd be like, hey, I don't want to watch the rest of season 2. What do I need to know before I go into season 3?
It's also great while you're watching a show and you feel like you did miss something. Like when I'm watching The West Wing, I'm like, why is CJ so upset about this? And I'll say, I'm on episode 4 of season 3. CJ what is she so upset about and why doesn't she like this guy? And it will just boop, 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 boop,
It's
explain
unbelievable. We'll be right back after a quick word from today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Now, you've heard us talk about Rocket Money before. And, once again, Rocket Money has found a subscription that I had forgotten about in all of my move and having to sign up for new accounts and internet and water bills and all these things. Rocket Money said, hey, Mike, do you know that you're paying for this twice? And I thank God for Rocket Money. I found a subscription I was paying for twice.
Oh, what a relief.
I know. And Matt, why don't you tell the good people what Rocket Money is?
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bill so that you can grow your savings. And with Rocket Money, I have a full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of my expenses.
Yeah, I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel in just a few taps. I love how the dashboard shows me this month's spending compared to last month, so I can clearly see my spending habits. I'll get alerts like, you spent X amount of dollars more this month than last month. Okay, I gotta pull the brakes, maybe a couple less Topo Chicos. But plus they'll help me create custom budgets and help me keep my spending on track.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower your bills for you, up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They'll deal with the customer service for you. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features.
Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Hoot. That's rocketmoney.com/Hoot. Matt, send it home.
rocketmoney.com/Hoot.
And now, back to the episode. I've been watching a lot of old Steve Jobs speeches and interviews.
Yeah, you got to connect the dots looking backwards.
There is one interview of him in 1982, I think it is. 1982, okay?
Yeah.
He is describing 2024 to a fucking T. He talks about how he wishes that there was like someone to capture. He's like, I can read all these books about Aristotle, but I didn't have Aristotle to talk to. I can't talk to him. He doesn't talk back. One day, there will be a machine that can collect the thoughts of Aristotle and we can interact and think, what would Aristotle say about this? And I'm like, that's literally ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Be Aristotle and answer this question about like my breakup or something. I like got chills listening to it. And then he also talks about something that you like, which we still don't even have. But he goes, there's a graphical map that someone went out and took pictures of like a street, and you can go and press a button and you'll be on that street and you can look around and you can select what season you want to be in. So you could see it with snow on the ground. You could see it with leaves on the ground, summer. Like we still don't even have that.
We only have like Google Street View for the moments in time.
But there is, I think now you can like go backwards in time.
Yes, you can do it on desktop, and you can go all the way back to I think like 2008, and it's kind of wild, and it's really emotional for some people when they do it because
like there's
they'll
dad's
see
car.
their dad mowing the lawn. Or one time I saw my friend's car outside my parents' house, and I showed him that. I'm like, he goes, I was like, why were you there or whatever? He goes, actually no, because it's when he was in Europe and he left his car at my parents' house for the whole summer. For them just to
wasn't them having an affair.
Yeah, right. But
like
they also David Bowie has that one great interview where he predicted like the future of music and how people will be able to access it digitally online and people will be able to remix and make their own versions of the tunes.
I also like the other side of it where it's like who's the weather guy from what was his name? Al Roker. It'll be like boop 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 boop, new segment. What is internet?
Oh, yeah.
Katie, can you explain this internet to us?
Yeah, it's like Katie Couric and Matt Lauer. And she goes, like, what? Can you explain what the internet is? Because they're bringing up an email address.
They don't even call it the internet. They just call it internet. What is internet? And I'm just like, I always say that out loud. I'm like, what is internet?
Do you remember the first website you ever went to?
Oh, God. Probably like yahoo.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember in the middle of the night walking out to like the loft area where my dad would like have our computer set up.
The family computer.
He would get on it super late at night because no one was using the phone or anything. And he went to cartoonnetwork.com.
That is a killer first
I
website to
remember
go.
sitting on his lap and like just him showing me the internet. And I'm like, so wait, is this like a game? He's like, not really. It's a page where it has information where you can read about your shows and stuff. And I was like, whoa.
CartoonNetwork.com. Great website.
I love that they still have the Space Jam website up. Like
Yeah, that's
the OG
cool
HTML of that.
The internet relics. Yeah.
Next show, we got The Crown. I'm not into The Crown. I don't care about the Royals. I know it's amazing. I know it's great.
Period dramas, I don't care. I don't want to know about the 18th century, the 15th century. I don't want to hear you talking British accents. I don't want to see fucking gowns and castles. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, but what if it's like just telling like a historical fictional story about like a kid in like the movie 1912? Did you like that? The one that's like one shot.
1917?
1917,
That's
bad.
a war movie. I think war, when
war,
I say
like
period,
war movies. Okay, but Pride and Prejudice, you have zero desire.
You would have to put a gun in front of my face and say, watch this movie with your eyes open.
I've never seen Pride and Prejudice.
I don't want to see it. I like 18th century royalty, gowns, castles, horses, knights, and the Duchess of... Why?
Yeah.
No.
I kind of know what you mean. I don't really like care that much about the Royals.
And a TV show about it?
Yeah.
Although, like, no, like, even like Gladiator, I'm like, I just don't care.
True.
I don't care. Set it in the 1900s. I need 1900s. I can't relate to these people.
Okay.
I know people don't like that, but
no, I understand. But whatever floats other people's boat. What about Stranger Things? Did you ever watch Stranger Things?
I watched the first season when it came out, and I thought, this is pretty damn good.
Amazing. And then it got a little silly, but like I'm always gonna watch it. I like that I'm waiting years for seasons to come out.
Yeah, I feel like it came out 10 years ago at this point?
It came out like in 2015 or 2016.
That's like almost 10 years ago. That's insane.
Yeah, just about. But there's
what are they
only
on season
been
4?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't even tell you what is happening in it now. Like I have no idea. It's always like the same thing where it's like, the upside down is getting out and 11 has to save the day.
Is it still as popular though? Like, or is it kind of a little bit less?
Oh,
like are there mega? I remember it was a phenomenon.
When Halloween comes around, everyone's dressing up like Stranger Things. I feel like it should have come out right now though. The new season. I feel like they just may have started production on it. But
you've seen every episode of Stranger Things?
Yes.
To date?
Yes.
That's insane.
But I remember they were like in Russia in the last one and shit was going down, but
is like 11 still in it?
Yeah.
The girl who like can read minds and stuff or whatever?
Yeah.
Is
she goes back to like high school, but like her dad, the cop guy, gets like captured.
Do they always still shave her head?
No, she's acting like a normal girl in the 80s. And I think she almost like ends up losing her powers too.
Oh, and she's like a super famous girl. I guess that's
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
She married John Bon Jovi's son, by the way.
Yes,
just got married. Millie Bobby Brown is like our Natalie Portman, or their.
No, I forgot. I was like, is Stranger Things still popping off? And I remember that girl is like literally everywhere. So yeah, I'm sure. Does she do other stuff?
Yes. Oh well, yeah. She did Enola Holmes, which is like a Netflix show where she plays Sherlock Holmes's like kid sister.
That was a crossword clue.
Yes, it was.
That I had no fucking idea what it was, but I got the other ones, and I was like, what the fuck is Enola?
Enola Holmes.
I thought it might have been like his wife or something. It's his daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's his sister.
Oh, his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Enola?
Enola.
I mean, I guess if your brother's name is Sherlock. You ever meet somebody named Sherlock?
No.
Hey, I'm Sherlock McGillicuddy.
Yeah,
nice
nobody
to meet
names
you.
their kid Sherlock.
No.
Because everyone would just be like, no shit, Sherlock. Did you ever watch Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Is that a movie or a show?
Show. Dude, it's awesome, but it's so British. He's like a mastermind, and it's set kind of like in modern day.
Do you ever is that like Doctor Who? That's another show that I'm like, I don't get. There's like 45
no, Doctor
seasons.
Who, I'm not doing that. I respect people. I know it must be awesome, but no, I'm not watching.
I think it's been like it's like a soap opera. There's like 40 seasons.
Yeah, I'm not doing
And it's like, who's the Doctor now? But can I tell you another game changer? The original Twilight Zone. Have you ever seen any of those? The black and white one?
Yes, I know Nightmare at 20,000 feet. I know that one. I know about the man who went to the... Yes, I do know.
William Shatner. That's the guy.
Oh, it is oh, wow.
Yeah.
My dad would show me those. My dad would have Twilight Zone VHSs. And there was also one about
Unbelievable.
the girl who gets
The Eye of the
the
Beholder.
surgery done. There's
Yes.
the guy who, it's the end of the world, but he's with a bunch of books and his glasses break.
Time Enough at Last.
Yes.
I'm a savant for Twilight Zone.
I did.
That's a great one.
I've never watched Twilight Zone the movie. Apparently that was like a very cursed production.
Oh. Is it,
People died filming.
shouldn't laugh at that. I did not
know.
expect you to say that.
Yeah.
But yes, if you could get the original Twilight Zone, that's another show I would say anybody could and should watch.
It's like the original Black Mirror.
Yeah, but Rod Serling, the guy who wrote it, like he just believed in people. And what were you gonna say?
Did you ever watch The Vast of Night?
Yes, I love that
Oh,
movie.
wasn't that great? Give me more of those.
I know.
The Vast of Night is, if you like the Twilight Zone and it's Halloween right now, highly recommend The Vast of Night.
Stranger Things
It's
vibes,
on-
I'd say also. If you like Stranger Things.
Yes. It's very like, it's not heavy in your face. You kind of like roll with the film, but it's so good.
I also just rewatched Last Stop at Yuma.
Yes. Wasn't that great?
I watched it. I've seen it before, so I rewatched it on the plane. It's just so good.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, there's some good ones. And what was the other show that you hate?
Suits.
No. David Lynch show from the
Twin
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. You buddy, that's so funny because I was just thinking about Twin Peaks last night and I go, maybe I should give it a shot. No, I know it's very cool. It's very
camp.
cool.
It's camp.
Which seems so up my alley. Some of the acting though, I'm like, this is trash.
But it's so good. There's a switch in your brain that when you make that switch, you'll be like, oh my, I can't get enough of this. It's so good. The guys just come into the different rooms and there's scenes where people are just screaming for no reason. And it's like weird, but it's like a high school soap. It's so good. Twilight Zone, not for everybody. Or sorry, Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
And then the last one, if we're talking about TV shows, Matt.
What?
Peaky fucking Blinders.
Oh, yeah. But you don't like period pieces.
That's 1900s.
Okay.
That's what it is. I got to be in this century or whatever, the last century.
Peaky Blinders.
And it's
Peaky Blinders didn't even make the list.
fuck that list. That's why we don't trust the robots. Human curation. That's the future, folks. You want to come to people you trust for recommendations, not some fucking algorithm.
Okay, fine.
Peaky
I just thought
Blinders.
it was a fun little vehicle to get us
I know
from
it is.
point to point.
It is. I'm here for it.
Handmaid's Tale, though, is pretty damn good, but it's honestly impossible to binge. It's the most brutal show to ever binge. Zane and I, we watched it since the beginning, but we did it like weekly.
It's like awful.
Yeah.
Like bad things are happening.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like abuse and emotional and physical torment that is sometimes so rough that like you can't. Watching that every day will not do you any good.
I try not to invite negative emotions into my living room when I'm.
But sometimes you got to experience some drama, you know?
I mean, I'll put on a Hey Arnold cartoon, and
Did you watch House of Cards?
I watched the first season.
Same.
I think. Yeah.
And then it all kind of fell apart like a House of Cards.
Hey, yeah, that.
But that was number 18. The Leftovers, though, it was on at number 20. And Boardwalk Empire was on it.
That one was like, eh.
Yeah.
Some of these shows, I just think I think culturally, everybody's tastes because of the internet has like hyperdrive and all coalesced into like we thought things were cool at the time. And I feel like I might be eating my words in like 5 years from now, but like, what do we think is like the best TV show out right now?
Probably, well, it just ended, Succession.
So like in 5 years,
Right
are we
now,
going to say?
I think Industry is getting a lot of hype and everyone's saying that's the new Succession because that's owns the time slot like right now.
But like in 5 years, are we going to be like Succession is like still one of the best shows of all time? Or are we going to be like, yeah, maybe like it was cool, but now it's like, I don't know.
I don't think it is one of the best shows of all time, but like I think it was one of the best dramas that have been made in the 20s.
But is it of the time?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to look
But
back
it's a bunch
at,
of rich people complaining about being rich and wanting to know if they're going to get all the money. I think it's a big peek into the top 0.1%.
Is it funny?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Is it like it's very funny. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very funny. You really should give it a shot. And it's very well
Do you have a
written.
favorite comedy show that you laugh at?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh my gosh, funny. Oh, Arrested Development.
You like Arrested Development?
Yes, I love it. Actually, Arrested Development is my number one favorite comedy, and I don't think I've ever finished it because I never know where I left off on it. And
You've seen the first 3 at least?
Yes, the first 3 seasons.
But then when they did the comeback, it got a little dicey.
Yes.
They released it once.
That's right. Yes, and it came back while I was in college, and it didn't hit as good.
The way that they released it, season 4, was each episode only had one character in it. And it was like not that good because the whole vibe of the show is all of them interacting with each other. But because of the scheduling, there's like a lot of green screen. You could tell they filmed. It'll be like me talking to you, but it's very clear that we're not in the same room at the same time. And then they did a 5th season where they all were together. That's like a little bit better. And then they just took that 4th season off of the internet, re-edited the whole thing to like make it look like it was one of the original seasons where there are multiple things happening. And it's called like season 4 remixed or something. That's the only one you can find now. I haven't even watched it, but the first 3 are unbelievable.
Yeah, I love Arrested Development.
There's just, God, I'll have to think about it later. There was one joke that I just came across, and I've seen the show 15 times. I still get new jokes.
Where can I get one of those necklaces with a T on it? Across from where?
Yeah, just
look at Banner, Michael.
I can't believe we've never talked about Arrested Development. That's like a core show.
I feel like you and me have watched it together in the past.
I don't think so.
Back at like your old apartment.
It's possible.
Yeah.
God, I want to remember what that joke was because it's unbelievable. But Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You probably don't like Always Sunny in Philadelphia though?
I do. That is actually one of my least favorite popular shows.
They're just a little too,
because everybody's dumb. I need one person to kind of like anchor it down. That's why I like Arrested Development, because Jason Bateman's character, like, he has his faults, but he's trying to tie it all together. When you're having 3 idiots doing a bunch of idiot things, it's too much chaos for me.
Yeah,
but they're funny. I like their chemistry. I mean, happy for them and all their success.
You listen to Smartless,
and not as much. Not
anymore. Recently. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another episode.
It?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! That flew on by.
We'll do another one. Maybe we could do topics for this show, like we do for Good Influences.
I kind of like the vehicle of us going through like a top 10 of something, and it branches off into different stuff.
Yeah, this could be a new format for us. This
could be the start of something new, or like. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Once again, if you haven't already, please go leave a review, leave a comment, like, subscribe. And there's so many episodes of Hoot and a Half that we've been doing over these years. So please give them a watch. Your support means the world. And thank you very much. Much love.
We'll see you next time.